That'll do, Mr. Mash.
An ingenious device, is it not?
Yes, most ingenious.
Quite roomy.
Yes, well, it is sold as a small double.
It might help to solve a slight problem we have, sir.
What problem?
Miss Brahms refuses to leave my tent.
Have you tried persuading her?
Yes, she was quite adamant.
Well, you're quite right to tell me, of course. What you do after hours, in normal times, is entirely your own affair, but you could hardly go through with this under our very noses, so to speak.
I think you may have, sir, what might be termed the wrong end of the stick.
Have I?
Yes, sir. I had arranged for Mrs. Slocum to have that large tent because I was quite sure that she would be willing to share. To my surprise, she wouldn't hear of it.
Do you suppose she has heard about you and Miss Brahms?
I was trying to get Miss Brahms and Mrs. Slocum together in the same tent.
What, all three of you?
No, sir. I don't want to share with the ladies.
Oh, good.
I want to share with you.
Mr. Rumbold. Didn't you think so, Captain Peacock?
Yes, it brought back memories of the army and the lads, the heat, the sunset, the endless shifting sands.
How long were you at Bognor Regis, Captain?
Mr. Lucas, when you were at school, I was with some of the toughest soldiers in the world, chasing Rommel through the desert.
Some people have all the luck.
Yes, Lucas. Some people seem to forget that men like Captain Peacock and myself were instrumental in making this a country fit for heroes to live in.
What were you in then, Mr. Rumbold?
Catering corps.
The NAFI?
Not the NAFI, Mr. Lucas. The catering corps was a very important part of the service. The army marched on its stomach, remember?
I suppose they couldn't walk upright for the indigestion.
Unfortunately, Captain Peacock, these youngsters seem to forget what we went through.
Were you in the NAFI, Mrs. Slocum?
No, of course I was a mere slip of a girl, but I was in air raid precautions. In fact, that's how I met my husband during an air raid. The bombs were raining down, and I saw his face lit by an incendiary. He threw me on my face and said, "Look out, here comes a big one."
I suppose there wasn't much time for chatting in those days.
And when it had gone off, we headed for the nearest shelter. And it was then I knew that it was love at first sight.
The first bomb site you come to.
Oh, you have got a nasty mind.
Where were you when all this was happening, Mr. Granger?
Oh, I was in Ensa entertaining the troops.
What does ENSA stand for?
Every night something awful happens.
You did a grand job, you Ensa chaps.
Oh, thank you, yes. I used to do impersonations, you know. I called myself Whimsical Willie. I did impersonations of Hitler and Goering and Goebbels and von Ribbentrop and Lord Haw-Haw.
Whose side were you on?
Oh, I used to do Mr. Churchill as well.
Do your Lord Haw-Haw for us, Mr. Granger. He was the one who used to broadcast propaganda to England.
Well, I don't know if I can. It was so many years ago, you know. The last time I did it was at a concert in Tobruk. Germany calling! Germany calling! You English have no chance of winning the war. The German army is invincible.
Oh, lifelike. It sent shivers up your spine.
And then I used to do Mr. Winston Churchill, you know. We will fight on the beaches. We will fight on the landing grounds. We will fight in the streets and in the villages, but we will never surrender. Give us the tools, and we will finish the job. And then I used to raise my hat.
I think you were very brave, Mr. Granger.
With an act like that, he had to be.
Of course, I wasn't around when all this was going on.
Oh, where were you then?
I wasn't born, but it was the war that brought my mother and father together. We've still got pictures of him with his black face running up the beach.
What was he, the first illegal immigrant?
He was a commando.
Ah, the toughest.
Absolutely ruthless.
My mum found in her bicycle shed. He was on a training exercise in Ipswich. What are you doing, she says. Looking for the Jerry, he said. So she took him indoors and showed him upstairs. And, well, they just sort of clicked.
Isn't that romantic? You know, I'm sorry I missed all that, really. Still, no matter what happens, even in spite of me pierced eardrums and me flat feet, whatever happens, I'll be there at the front the next time.
Dressed as a woman with a ticket for Sweden, no doubt.
Well, I think it's time for lights out. It's been a most enjoyable evening. Just like the old Boy Scout jamborees.
It's only 10:30.
Shall I put the campfire out, Mr. Rumbo?
Oh, yes, we don't want to take any risks.
Hello. Churchill's having one of his cat naps again. Somebody better wake him up. It's time to go to bed.
Humphreys.
Are you free, Mr. Granger?
Yes,
Good night, Mr. Granger.
Good night, everybody.
Hey, Shirley. Fancy a game of ping pong in the sports department?
No, thank you.
How about sardines in soft furnishings?
Get in your tent and zip yourself up.
Or would you like me to go to the library and get you a copy of The Sensuous Woman? 2 copies.
Has anybody set the alarm for tomorrow morning?
I've set the burglar alarm for tonight.
I hope you catch one.
After you, sir.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm going to keep my socks on, if you don't mind.
Not at all, sir. That's enough, Mr. Lucas.
Good night, Mrs. Slocum.
Are you standing on tiptoe?
No, Mrs. Slocum.
Oh, drat it, there goes Miss Topper.
Fire! 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 Well, that's dampened it down a bit. Good night, Mr. Humphreys.
Good night, Mr. Lucas. I won't come out. I've just put cream on my face.
Just think. Those teeth once did Winston Churchill. Good night, Mr. Granger. Don't bother.
You're not going to read, are you, Captain Peacock?
No, sir.
Can you get rid of that thing?
What thing?
The light.
Oh, yes, sir. There's nothing on my side.
Oh, damn, it must be on mine. Mr. Lucas, you're not in bed yet.
No, I'm just going, sir.
Turn this light out for us, will you?
Certainly, sir.
Not the lever.
Oh, I'm...